Never know how much I love you, never know how much I care. But when you burn my fossil fuel, I get a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you drill me, fever when you light my fire. Fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Cold lay under mountains or lay under the sea. But you mind it and you pumped it out, and the rest is history. You give me fever in the ice caps, fever on the desert sands, fever in the ocean, and fever all over the land. Everybody got the fever, that is something you should know. Fever can't be cured easy, fever will go on and on.
My main message is to think about what you use, what you consume, whether you do have enough. Don't be greedy, and think about what you throw away. And even if your bin is your indicator, and I hate using that, but it's getting back to my work. Your bin is an indicator of how efficient you are. If it's empty and if it hasn't got much valuable or high energy, high carbon material, you've done a good thing.
I'm a Year 9 student at Barrow High School, and we're doing a lot of work, and I very strongly believe that we really need to do something about our Earth. I think education is very, very important in this. We need to educate our children from a very young age to understand power-saving options, the state of our Earth. I'd just like to say we really need to work not just on our own. I mean, obviously we can make a big difference, but we also need to work as a whole community. And events such as today, we can make a huge difference to everything, by showing that we can, by showing that we want a better future for our Earth and for our new generations of our society. Days like today really prove that we do care and that we can achieve something.
And the topic I'd like to talk about is what I consider the most important word in our language today, and that word is the word enough. Enough is not in our genetic makeup. Not enough is what our genetic makeup is. It is we want to expand, grow more. That is the nature of nature, to grow. So we have to superimpose on top of our genetic material the model of enough. We use our brain to learn enough. I don't want to tell the government we've had enough. Instead, it's really telling your family, your friends, and especially yourself, I have enough.
Jeff and I have changed our lives a lot in the last 2 years, and I'm hoping that that might give the rest of you some encouragement and some hope that people might change in the future. Amazingly, because I've kept all the figures, we have reduced our energy intake by between 35 and 40%. Just to finish, I'd like to say that if you haven't made step 1 and been educated, or step 2 and joined CANWin, I really encourage you to do those 2 steps, because no one's going to be passionate about change until they're educated enough to want the change and they're working in the community to go forward.
When you feel me, fever, when you turn your key. Fever when you ride me, racing for prosperity. Now you listen to my story. Here's the point that I have made. Fossil fuels will give me fever, and it's a fever that's likely to stay. You give me fever when you're cooling, fever when you're driving around, fever when you're flying, fever when you're taking a shower, when you burn it, fever if you live and learn. Fever, I'm gonna sizzle, not a lovely way to burn. I don't really want to burn. Please don't let me burn. I don't wanna burn. Oh, please don't